It's so cold in here that things are starting to heat up.
What's up, Defects? We're back with another episode of Cold Keys. That's right. It feels like it's been so long, but it's only been a month. So we're back. And we're dropping 4 books on you that we think have potential to get hot again or to go even higher than they have already. All right. So before we give you the 4 books, I want to tell you that over on the comicbookinvest.com website, there's going to be a bonus 5th book. So you guys definitely want to go check that out. The link is going to be in the description. All right, so let's get into these books.
Matt, Jay, before we get into these books, let's explain to the people out there in Defect Land what Cold Keys is, just in case if they're tuning in for the first time. Guys, these are books that were maybe hot at one time. They came down a little bit. Maybe they're books that were, they're climbing. They haven't reached their level yet. And then, you know what? They're books that are just flying under the radar, and it's a good time to pick them up. So, as Matt says, without further ado, let's get into the books. First up, we got Spider-Gwen #1. This is the first solo series for Spider-Gwen, guys. Matty Forge, break it down.
Guys, we're talking about Spider-Gwen, and we're talking about a specific variant, but I'll just talk about Spider-Gwen 1 in particular right now. The way I'm looking at it is I'm looking at Miles Morales, right? And I'm looking at what his books are doing. First appearance, obviously, right? First solo stories, second appearance. And I'm following those tea leaves because Spider-Gwen has followed in his footsteps as far as investment, all right? So now, while I think this first solo series is probably not going to do the same as Miles Morales, I think there's a lot of potential for growth here. All right, so that's why I'm picking this one. I think this is definitely, it heated up for a very short few months last year, and I think it's cooled way down, especially in this crazy market right now. So I'm going to bring up GPA, and I'm going to show you some numbers. So here we go, guys. Like it says on the screen, Spider-Gwen, it's the 2015 series. That's her first series. And I am going to go to, forget about the 99s. We're just going to go to, I'll first show you this, the cover A. And you could see $89 for cover A, guys. And you can see the curve here. I think it pretty much speaks for itself. There's been some peaks back in early 2021. But for the majority, the average is pretty steady here, okay? But I'm not looking at cover A, guys. I'm going to go all the way down to the Portasio recalled variant. Okay, guys? And I showed it on the screen earlier. This recall affected about 1,000 copies. Okay? 1,000 copies were affected. They were supposed to be recalled, and the majority of them weren't, as we know is the case. So you could see here, again, a lot of overall flatness to this curve, but you could see back in December of 2019, we had an average of $300 and a high of $350 for a 9.8. All right, guys. And recently, in 2021, the high is only $200. So clearly, you could see where this book had the potential to go and where it is now. Some census numbers. I quickly looked that up. Cover A 9.8s, over 1,800 of them. Okay. The 1 in 100 variant, there's 557 9.8s on the census. The Portasio recalled variant, there's only 197 of those. So I think if you're looking at Spider-Gwen to do similar numbers to Miles Morales, you got to start getting creative here. Forget about her first appearance. Start looking at her second appearance. Start looking at her first solo stories, first titled series. And that's what we're looking at here. And then take it a step further and get that rare variant, guys. And that's why this is my pick for the first cold key of the week.
We got up Eternals #11. This is from Jay, man. First appearance of Druig and Kingo Sunan. Jay, explain this book, baby.
All right, guys. We know Eternals has been heating up, but it's not heating up like it should be, guys. This is from May of 1977. Jack Kirby squared. We got him writing and illustrating this title. Like Guy said, first appearance of Druig, the Lord of Flames and Nightmares, confirmed to be played by Barry Cogan. And we got the first appearance of Kingo Sunan, a samurai swords master, confirmed to be played by none other than Kumail Nanjiani. Guys, we see what Eternals #1 is doing. We see what 2 is doing. We see what 3 is doing. Eternals #11 is the forgotten stepchild of this series, guys. Matt, if you could pull it up in a 9.6, please.
Sure. And Jay, I just wanted to congratulate you on getting those names right.
Oh, God.
That was really good.
Terrible. So,
go,
guys,
buddy.
you know we try to keep it around that, $200 to $300 range. Here you have it in a 9.6, guys. In 2019, the high was $180. In 2020, it was $96. The 12-month is $115. The 90-day is $148, and the last sold is $150. Guys, we know in this market right now, everything is heating up, and it's almost impossible to find cold keys. But you see that spike there in July of 2019 when the book shot up. That was probably what, news of the movie coming out. And then you see it totally drop down and pretty much level out, but again, start to spike up a little bit. This is the time to get that book, guys. We all seen that little 10-second clip of Eternals. A great buy, in my opinion, right now. We all know these characters are going to do big things, and I think the Eternals is going to be a major stepping stone in the Marvel MCU that people are sleeping on. Guys, what do you think?
100%. I couldn't agree more. We've talked about this book several times. I think you broke it down perfectly. The numbers don't lie. The graph don't lie, So the potential's there.
I try to keep it short and sweet, guys. It's characters that are being played by actors that people are going to like. We all see, like I said, what that #1 is doing, what the 2 is doing, what the 3 is doing. So this is a book you could still grab raw and high grade from about $50 to $70. So go check it out, guys, before it's too late.
Yeah, Jay brought up a good point. I think on this book, and even on the first book I was talking about, probably all the books today, don't think you just got to go grade it. You could go raw copy also, because those are undervalued as well. All right, Guy, what do we got next, brother?
We got Moon Knight #14. You got the first appearance of Stained Glass Scarlet. And Matty Forge, explain who this is, please.
All right, so Stained Glass Scarlet, guys. Moon Knight 14. That's his, the first Moon Knight series, the first titled issue there. Basically, it was Stained Glass Scarlet is a nun who becomes a vigilante. All right, very odd. I'm sure a lot of you listening to this have heard this book before, but you probably haven't heard it in a while. In late 2019, this character, everybody was talking about this character. Heavily rumored to show up and be used in the Moon Knight series. It's something, if you kind of put all the pieces together, a nun who becomes a vigilante, that fits right into the Moon Knight kind of lore and what the MCU wants to do. They want to introduce female characters. Okay. I think this could definitely have some potential. So I'm going to show you some numbers here as to what it was, because this thing was through the roof, and what it is now. You can see that's that 1981 Moon Knight series. Okay. #14. And guys, let me just preface this with saying this was a rumor. This is not a confirmed character, but it was heavily rumored. And this came from a source. I guess I'll give the source. He's been right a lot lately, guys. TiVo over on Lords of the Longbox, his long-term spec list has really been on point. He was one of the first I heard to report this, and he has been doing really good. So I'm going to run with it. I'm going to say this is probably worth the risk right now. Let's look at the 9.8 because it's affordable right now. Look at that spike. It sold for over $1,000. Granted, it was one copy in August of 2019. Okay. So it's hard to go on one copy, but it did sell for $1,000. All right. Let's look at some of the other sales here. You could see it definitely tailed off, but it had some heat behind it. $300 here, guys. The potential was there. It's come down. It's in the 250 range. It's in the 196 range. You could see the last sale definitely pumped up 280. But in this market, guys, we know what's happening in this market. Everything has tripled. And the fact that this book has kind of stayed right where it kind of settled after the peak, after that rumor, I think this is probably worth taking a risk on a raw copy of, or even, dare I say, a 9.6. Are 9.6s the new 9.8s, Jay?
Oh, it appears that way, the way CGC has been grading.
You know? My suggestion here on this one is to probably pick up a raw copy. They're going between $20 and $30 online. You could still find them in back bins, guys. That's all I could say. This is a rumor, not a confirmed appearance, so a little different than the other two that we've talked about already, but I think it's worth taking a flyer on. Guys, tell me what you think.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past, and I'm gonna name it. It's gonna be the Agatha effect, guys. We all knew that was Agatha Harkness, but that book it spiked, but it went crazy when she actually said, "They call me Agatha Harkness." The book went insane. I could totally see that happening here. She's heavily rumored to be in the series. Still, I don't know why the book's not moving the way it should be after we've seen what WandaVision did, after we've seen what Falcon Winter Soldier did. So great pickup there, Matt. Yes.
So for this book to have as much heat as it did a year and a half ago, for it to just be flat right now was shocking to me when I saw that. I thought that when I went to look at this, I was like, all right, this is going to be, $350, $400 in a 9.8. People started remembering again, but it's kind of gone forgotten. What have you done for me lately? So,
and defects, you don't know how hard it is to find cold keys in this market today. I don't want to harp on it, but a lot of research goes into it, and you may not see the drop off or the increase like we've shown you in the past. It's just because no one expected this comic book market to be the way it is in this day and age.
Yep.
This is what we're living in, guys. Time to get used to it. Next up, and to round out the list for this episode of Cold Keys, guys, you got a Fantastic Four book, and it's not from Matty Forge. The Butcher brings out Fantastic Four number 65. You know what it is. The first appearance of Ronan.
Guys, we've seen him already. He's a fan favorite. I love the way he was portrayed on the big screen in Guardians. Fantastic Four number 46, guys. August of 1967. The dynamic duo Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. The first appearance of Ronan the Accuser. Not only that, but it's also the first appearance of the Supreme Intelligence. Guys, this character is not going anywhere. He already reprised his role. If Marvel decides to go in that cosmic annihilation storyline, we've talked about it in the past, Ronan plays a huge part, if not the biggest part in that Annihilation storyline. And if you have not read Annihilation, I suggest you go buy the Omni, the trades, the single issues, because it is one of the great story arcs that Marvel ever did. Again, guys, the numbers here, they go up and down. It's very hard to find a cold key, but you could see it's on its way back down. In 2019, this book was at about $592. In 2020, dropped down to $370. The 12-month average is $420. The 90-day average is $415. And the last sold is $415, which means probably only one copy sold in that 90 days, which was at $415, guys. But if you could go back to the chart, Matt, you could see this book spiked heavily in February of 2019, dropped off, came back up, dropped off again, came back up, and then again in February 2021, you see it's on its way down. Guys, It's a Silver Age Fantastic Four book. It's an awesome character. And think about the upside. Just speculate on Annihilation. It seems Marvel's going more into that cosmic direction. We see the storylines that's coming out. We already got a Marvel teaser today with the Fantastic Four. So, major character in the Fantastic Four. Guys, I can't suggest enough. And even if he doesn't hit, it's a great character to have in your PC on a downswing right now.
You can't have Annihilation without Ronan. So I think Jay's onto something here.
It is his redemption story, and the way it's done is incredible. Gayuch.
Nice pick, Jay. Beautiful. Character's ridiculous. The guy who played him in the movie is awesome. He did a great job with it. So he's not going anywhere. He's back, and that's a good pick, man.
Guys, that's going to wrap up Cold Keys. On your way out, hit that thumbs up, guys. There was a lot of work that went into this. We were scouring books trying to find these cold keys for you, but that's what we do once a month for you guys. So if you are new and you like what you saw here, sub us up and hit that notification bell. Remember, there's going to be a bonus 5th book over on CBSI's website. Check that link in the description. And we will catch you on the next episode of Cold Keys.